Welcome, and we are live once again. So, if you are joining us and you're listening on our podcast, or you might be watching us on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am joined by a very special person today, Madison, and she is going to be giving us a little snippet of just how her journey has been with the Modern Mystery School. So, Madison, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait for people to hear this story. And there is, I know some of it, but I know there's a huge amount. So I'm hoping we can get it into 10 minutes. But if we can't, then I'm going to ask right now that we book you in again and we revisit, because I think it's just such a, an amazing story. I want everybody to, to hear it. So would you mind telling us a little bit about your life pre-mystery school, then how mystery school, what classes or what you did, and then how your life is now?
Yeah, there is a lot, as you said, so I'll do my best to kind of get it down to the highlights. Before I came to mystery school, I had this sort of like rock and roll lifestyle. I was a performance artist. I was performing all the time. I was very much a part of the performance art scene in Boston, and my life was very exciting. But I always felt like there was more. I always felt like there was more I could be doing. And since I was little, I always wanted to help people and ended up becoming a nurse. So I was living this double life where during the day I was working as a nurse, and in the evening I had this, party, really fun, exciting life, and really felt that disconnect where I didn't feel like I could really be my full true self in either one of these kind of fantastical lives that I had created myself. And and looking back, every time I tell the story, I learn more about myself, is that I really realized that I was really just giving my power away to whatever I thought I should be doing. In performance, it's very much you're doing, you're being yourself, but you're interacting with the audience in a way to try to elicit some emotion or some response. And in nursing, I was doing what I thought my parents wanted me to do, which was to get a job and be able to provide for myself and all these things. So these lives were in conflict with each other. I was in conflict with myself. I felt like there was more out there. I felt like I couldn't really truly be myself in any of these places. So ended up very sad and depressed and confused and with a drug addiction and all these things that just left me really, really low. And that's when I found the mystery school. And I had been raised atheist. I didn't believe in God, and found myself at a point in my life where I was asking God, like, hey, if you exist, please help me out of this situation. Please, I promise I will be a better person. I promise I will make better choices. And 3 months later, I ended up receiving life activation. I'm, as you may tell from my story, I'm a little bit of an intense person. I kind of go all in with things. So I received life activation, I received Empower Thyself initiation, and I started the Kabbalah journey all in that 1 year. And all through the whole time was kind of like, I don't really know what this is. I don't really talk about it with anybody. I don't really understand it. I really know what I'm doing. But it just felt like home. And it just felt like every time I went there, the other people who I met, and especially my guide and my healers, felt like they were really seeing me in a way that I wasn't even seeing myself, I think, or allowing other people to see me either. So I just kept going, and my life started to change. My relationship started to change. I ended up sort of taking a total back step from my entire life. Everything just kind of came to a screeching halt. And again, I kind of like let myself go to the whim of the universe. And I was traveling. I was essentially homeless, traveling, and so this was after doing a lot of work. And I had an aha moment a few months after finishing the Kabbalah journey, where I realized that I was just, as I said earlier, just going with the flow. I was kind of just giving my life, giving my power away to whoever was around. basically, just, I was in a home and I was in a relationship, working a job, and just woke up one morning, I was like, this isn't it. Like, this is not what I want at all. But I also knew, because of the work that I did with the mystery school, because of the empowerment that I received from them, I knew that if I had created this life that I didn't want, that I could create a different life that I did want. So that's really when that's when I did this sort of like about face, and I started moving my life in a different direction, and came back home and sort of was like, okay, I did this spiritual thing. Like, maybe I'm a spiritual person now. Like, maybe I should take Reiki and buy a crystal. I don't know who I am now. But that space gave me the opportunity to say, okay, what do I want to create? What do I want to do? How do I want to be? What do I want my life to be like? And I tried a couple of other different spiritual schools, spiritual traditions, took a couple other trainings, but nothing really packed a punch, for lack of a better word, the same way that mystery school work did. It just really I felt like there was no ego attached to it. I wasn't dealing with anybody's personal stuff, anybody's personal ego, and it just worked. It just felt really powerful every time I was inside those doors of a mystery school center. So I started a Kabbalah journey again, in my science brain, thinking, okay, well, I'll do it again, and I'll know for sure, because I've done it already, if it's for real or not, because I've done this before. So I'll know all the smoke and mirrors. And pretty quickly into it was like, oh my goodness, my life is changing again. This is real. This is real. This is real work. And at that point I said, if this is real, and if this can do for me to take me from, where I was before, totally disempowered, really at the bottom of my barrel, to a place where I know that I have the power to change my life, and I know how to do it with the tools from Empower Thyself, and Kabbalah. I want to do this for other people. I really think that this is important for people to have and to know about. So that's when I poured myself into becoming a healer, becoming a guide, and really wanting to offer this to other people. And now I have a center. I teach classes. I coach and guide people through, maybe not exactly what I went through, but very similar things of feeling powerless, feeling hopeless, feeling lost, feeling confused, directionless, into a place of being connected with what you truly want and giving you the tools to get there. So, yeah.
It's phenomenal. And it really amazes me because, when you talk about that, obviously you're medically trained, you're a very intelligent woman. Like you said, you've got that science brain there as well. And of course, you've got the creative side of you, and you were very successful in what you were doing beforehand.
Mm.
And it just amazes me again and again. It's like even though you were successful to the outside world, there was something that it wasn't, it didn't feel right inside, and you were brave enough to go, well, actually I want more, and I want the dream, I want it all, I want the joy, I want the success, I want the everything. And so what amazes me every time listen to your story, you just kind of like, okay, let's start again.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. And it's something that I think that when you have that, there's that heart and soul feeling that I think a lot of people can't ignore, where you have this emptiness, and you can check off all the boxes. But at the end of the day, I think when people feel that emptiness inside, that really soul and heart emptiness, that is something that you can't just ignore. You can't just put by the wayside. And, some people will have different experiences in their life. Well, they'll realize that we have only one life. We have only one shot at this. And if we don't do it now, if we don't get what we want now and create the life that we want now, we're not going to get another opportunity. And life is short. And there is so much beauty and joy and love and connection and passion in this world. There's no reason why we shouldn't have it. There's no reason why we shouldn't be experiencing it for ourselves. So I find a lot of people more and more are not settling. And I'm excited about that because I'm not about settling at all.
You and me both. I'm like, okay, this is, we're here to live the dream. We're here to have it all. And thank you so much for sharing that, and I would love, and I can't wait because I know there's so much more to the story. So that's just given us a little warm up, little warm up there. Thank you so much for sharing that. And, we can't wait to have you back on.
I'd be excited and honored to share my story. Again, I learn so much every time. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, good. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all again soon.
Bye.